innocent.
You can't do this. I didn't do anything wrong. I was stuffed in Arkham State Hospital for a decade. I've had a lot of time to reflect at how many of you wrote letters telling the judge that I was mentally ill.
8 hours later.
Omit the bitter town is now an endless thing.
God damn. Talk about gaslighting. What's going on, everybody? I'm Winston A. Marshall, aka the Swaggy Blurred, and this is my reaction review of The Penguin, episode 4. If this is your first time here, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know whenever I'm dropping new content, and go ahead and throw a like on this video, and definitely get in the comments and tell me what you're thinking, man. Okay, so as I was kind of saying, I'm kind of just rolling my reaction to the episodes and my review into one video just to make things a little bit easier and whatnot, especially because fortunately I have a lot of this week off barring some auditions, so I have some time to catch up on some content and really give some TLC to what's going on here on the channel. So let's just jump into episode 4, man. You pretty much just give all the Golden Globes, give all the Emmys, give it all to the show, because from top to bottom they're completely smashing on anything on television right now. I had said previously that I thought the only thing that was really in competition, but I guess they were technically a part of the previous Emmys, would have been X-Men 97. Right now, this show stands alone. It really does. There's a lot of good television out there right now, but this show stands alone. So again, this is going to be spoilery, so if you haven't seen the episode, you know, up to you if you want to stick around and come back, or if you want to leave and come back, if you want to stick around and jump right into it. But we got the backstory of Sophia Falcone. We learned that, you know, because a reporter was poking around trying to figure out where all these women that were working for the Falcone family in their clubs were getting murdered. And, you know, she sees, the reporter is like, these are the things that we're seeing. They're being strangled, there's defense marks, but then they look like they're hung. Hence, this serial killer was called the Hangman. When Sophia remembers her mother died in the same way, defensive wounds on her hands, but hung, but then the strangulation marks on her neck. She later on asks her father about whether or not what happened, and so Carmine has her committed to Arkham, and the entirety of her family writes letters saying, yeah, her mom was crazy and committed suicide, and so she's crazy too, and blah blah blah. And then all the people on the Falcone payroll, the doctors that are there, except for Dr. Julian Rush, who eventually comes around, they all are now kind of doing the same thing and trying to prove that she's violent, getting some of the other inmates, like they'll stop torturing them, these female inmates will stop torturing them if they help with this whole process. The entire system rigged against her, and you took a woman who was strong, ambitious, and smart, and you completely broke her. You gaslit her into becoming a killer, and she finally kills Magpie, who she realizes was you know, spying on her brother, the only person who defended her. And now we understand why she was so upset when her brother was dead. We now see where she's at, and the chilling moment of cutting off Uncle Luca's speech and talking about how she was left out to dry with everybody, but protecting the little girl, because she was a little girl that was not protected, protecting her little niece, taking her out to the garden where her and her brother used to be, and kept them safe, while she gassed the whole fucking family except for Johnny, who she kept alive and now has him hostage at gunpoint, with the rest of the Falcone main branch family all dead. This show is fucking fantastic. The acting was insane. If you watch the after the episode recap with a lot of the designers, the hair, the makeup, the art design director, the top to bottom level of detail reminds me of peak Game of Thrones, where you are making such a strong statement about something in your storyline, but doing it with a masterclass of artistry. Again, the yellow dress kind of symbolizing like the coal. For me, they didn't say this specifically, but what it felt like was the canary in the coal mine. And that kind of idea, one way or the other, except in this case, the caged bird is free, whereas everybody else in the mine, in the dangerous mine, is gone. The fact that she is starting off her father wanted her to take over the business, and ironically had said previously that her brother was too soft. And so that's why she was going to be the one that would take over. And the irony of that prophecy actually becoming true, but only after her father and the rest of her family tortured the shit out of her and truly made her a full-blown just killer and assassin, and not even necessarily because that's who she ever had aspirations to be, but the idea that she became that because her family forced it out of her, because the people she trusted more than anything betrayed her. And I think that that is one of the things that you can see with people in life in general. When you have someone that truly betrays you, especially family members, how devastating that can be and how that can shape you. A lot of us, based on things that our parents have done to us one way or the other, we have, you know, if we saw a parent who cheated a lot, then you have a tendency to be the most anti-cheating person ever, or you follow directly in their footsteps and you're just as bad. You see that with people, unfortunately, that come from violent households, things like that. Our parents can make and break us, and you literally, most people have an extreme one or the other, the exact same BS issues or the complete polar opposite. And the irony of all ironies here is that in her desire to almost get out of this nonsense, she actually catapulted herself into being like her dad, if not potentially worse. She may not be the hangman, but that does not mean that she did not become a killer in her own right. It was just a beautiful woven tapestry of what life can truly do to shape you. And we've seen that with a lot of characters throughout. We've seen that with Oz and all the things that he's gone through, and you still got a little bit of how he was getting disrespected. Every time he gets disrespected too hard, he has an anger flip out. You know, we've seen that. His name is escaping me right now. I don't know why, but the young man, the Puerto Rican man that's working for Oz, we saw that with his family in the previous episode, and how, you know, he wanted better for his family, but then because they were living poor, they were in the poor side of town and got flooded out. And he's not necessarily a bad dude, but he is pushing forward because he doesn't want to end up in a position like that again. And so you see his morality being balanced back and forth of like, is he going to continue to be a mobster with Oz, or is he going to, you know, do better? And he didn't go away with his girlfriend. He stuck around to and helped save Oz's life and stuff. So we're really seeing this beautiful, beautiful setup of who these individual characters are. And now that we know who all the players on the board are, like in the way that the first Suicide Squad movie was trying to do those little intros, those quick intros of who is this crazy person and who's going to be on the team, we're doing that because we're in a TV show and because we're taking attention to detail. We're getting an episode a piece essentially of the major players and what makes them who they are. So then when it's time for the big collide, and that's what a good TV show, that's what a good movie will do, we know exactly what angle they're coming from, and you may or may not be rooting for the people that you thought you would. I did not like Sophia, but I was like, man, this bitch crazy. She's trying to, but now that I know where it's coming from, she's my favorite character in the show. So I gotta know what you think, man. I genuinely think we're gonna see a lot of Emmys for the show. I mean, Cristin Milioti, she is definitely gonna be in talks and contention. There's no way that she's not after a performance like this. Same thing, we already knew that Colin Farrell would be. I mean, just by the way he fully transforms into Oz, he is a completely different person. Makeup is certainly going to probably be in the conversation, if not win, for the Penguins, you know, prosthetics and everything alone. But I am truly blown away by what this show is delivering. And it brings me back to the conversation we had on Capes and Cows. You should go check it out on Cristin's channel. This past week, myself, Coy, and Christian, specifically about how it would be an absolute travesty if they do end up canceling, you know, the Batman 3 if, you know, it doesn't crazy perform again, or if like Superman outperforms it or whatever. They're like, well, we don't want to confuse people, so we're just going to go ahead and end this. This world that has been built by Matt Reeves and all the people collaborating with him, both on the movie and on this Penguin series, it would be an absolute travesty if they got rid of this prematurely, because this is built out so incredibly well. I mean, super shout outs to Lauren LaFranc. This is a masterclass. It genuinely is. This is the show of the year at this particular juncture, man. So let me know what you think. Again, down in the comments, are you rocking with the show one way or the other? If I'm giving this a rating, man, this is a 5. This is a 5 out of 5. This is a perfectly executed episode of television, in my opinion. And this goes in the Hall of Fame with, you know, some of the best Breaking Bad episodes, you know, the Red Wedding, stuff like that. This had a roller coaster ride and told an incredible story. And you found a way to do it and to only focus on this character with a little bit of like tipping of the hat to things here and there, but not needing to lean on, ooh, you know, like the Joker was around or Batman was around or even Oz. Oz had his minor little bit here where, again, he was Sophia's driver and betrayed her, but like really was often, this was about Sophia, and I was completely enthralled. So let me know what you think down in the comments, man. There will be some other stuff coming out today and all throughout the week. Like I said, I do have some audition stuff and things like that, but I have a lot of free time this week to be able to make sure that I'm getting you content every single day, so be on the lookout for that. Other than that, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all stay safe. I will see you on the Blurred Breakdown in just a few hours.